APC federal lawmaker Senator Dino Melaye calls for the sack of President Buhari's economic team. He says the time of barking is over for the president and now time to bite. And we now take a look at the reactions and the outcome of the intense conversation generated on the stage at the Channels Television's governorship debate in Edo State yesterday. Those are going to be our focus on the program tonight. Many thanks for joining in, everyone. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Shehu Okinbaloye. Let's begin the conversation tonight, serving you with some of the top political stories we're following right now.
Political roundup on Channels Television. Here are your top political stories this time.
As many Nigerians continue to think around ways to get the nation out of economic recession, many believe if the government is willing and resolute on some principles, it may get the country out of recession faster. One person that has his fears about a quick recovery is an elder statesman, Alhaji Balarabe Musa.
Now, with this situation, there is no way we can avoid recession. There is no way we can achieve progress. Nobody, up to now, no significant person has been identified, arrested, prosecuted, and dealt with according to law.
Akere Dolu Oluomi Rotimi, or 669.
Former Nigerian Bar Association President Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu may have emerged as the APC governorship candidate in Ondo State after the party's primary. But the dust is yet to settle, as some of his fellow contenders are speaking about the exercise.
It was one of the best primary elections ever conducted that I had ever witnessed.
Formal processes of this candidature emergence is free and fair, and the formal processes, and that is commendable. I think if we continue like that, our democracy will mature.
The federal government will not forget those families left behind by fallen heroes in the Nigerian army. The federal government has announced plans to establish a National Women Empowerment Fund and Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program.
The federal government under President Muhammad Buhari is committed to making the lives of all Nigerians, especially women and the youth, better.
And you're up to date. Those are your top political stories.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We will be talking about some of what has happened in the Edo State governorship debate hosted by Channels Television in Benin City. Yesterday, 4 candidates out of the 19 names released by INEC were up for that debate for the Edo State governorship election. They took to the stage yesterday in an intense debate over issues which have been generated since the race began. We've asked you to tell us in the poll which will end in a few hours to vote on who has the better policies amongst this candidate. If you watched yesterday, go on Twitter at Channels TV to vote. And if you did not watch, well, you will catch up with some of what happened yesterday on our YouTube page, where you can watch everything that got down, and you can then go onto Twitter to vote. Tomorrow, we will tell you the results of the poll. Well, let's take a listen to some excerpts of the debate.
Offers Nigeria a huge opportunity to turn its fortunes and the future around. We spend almost $15 billion a year importing food and food items. This is what we can cultivate internally in Nigeria. We spend about $500 million a year importing fish and chicken. That Edo can produce. And what you need is somebody who has the experience, who understands how to pull resources together, the capital, the manpower, and the planning, so that investors can be attracted to the state and make the required investments. Government's responsibility is to create the enabling environment, and the government that is not accountable, that is corrupt, cannot attract high-quality investments.
We first of all have to identify why we are in the problem. Okay? The two political parties that have governed us put us in this mess: PDP and APC. They owe Nigeria, they owe Edo people on reserve apology, which is key to me. Now you talk about Bendel Bridge, you talk about that. What we need to do is to bring capable investors. Government doesn't have that money anymore. The economy is going down. You need investors to come and invest in those industries that have collapsed. That is key to us. Thank you.
Mr. Arelegwe.
Thank you very much. We in the Labour Party believe that we can do it together. It's not going to be because that is what is killing the government. But when we carry the people along, we partner with them. The people, we see it as their own also businesses, then they will have the interest to protect it. And we in the Labour Party believe when we encourage farming, we're going to make it interesting that even our young ones can even try to venture into it. And we also make sure we are going to encourage inventors and innovators. By so doing, we create more employment, and by also making sure that the unemployed youths are taken out of the streets.
I'd like the same question to go to Pastor Isaiah Yamu. We'll come to the Labour Party.
Yeah, thank you. Well, the truth about those industries is that they certainly can be revived. Bendel Brewery, for example, that was the brewery that funded the free education policy of Professor Ambrose Ali. Unfortunately, this government has abandoned it completely. It will interest you to note that when we came in, we found out that that industry, that brewery, was sold to church gates. But when we looked at the terms, we found out that they should charge the state. And forcefully, we had to retrieve it. And during the period when that brewery was running, that brewery was giving the Edo State government 25 million monthly. But in the past 7.5 years, no attention has been made to revive that place. You don't even need to spend government money. There are a lot of brewers in Germany, in Europe, who will gladly come.
Well, those are some of those things that were said there by those candidates. Of course, in the coming days, you will be hearing and seeing part of it. Well, you can catch up with some of these that has been said on our YouTube page. Well, over now to Ondo State. They say it is a battle of the sons. Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Two senior advocates of Nigeria have emerged as a candidate of their parties. APC's Rotimi Akeredolu and PDP's Jegede will be leading the race. That is if all goes well, especially for the PDP, considering the crisis rocking the party, where Mr. Jimo Ibrahim, a businessman, himself a lawyer, emerged as a candidate of the PDP under this Senator Sheriff camp. Well, a lot of reactions have been going from the aspirants and the candidates about the APC primaries. Some people saying, well, the issue of imposition did not play out, but some of them are saying they still have concerns about the issue of the primaries. Well, to our major story of the day, Nigeria is in recession. The federal government says it is in charge and working hard to get out of the economic mess. How soon will the recovery come? Well, that is our next focus after this break. Join us again.